You guys are turds. Padded Room Radio is back on the air, baby. My name is Darian, and I am still here for more horror bullshit to talk to you about on a weekly basis. Buddy has returned.
Yes.
What's going on, big buddy?
Oh, man, it's been a busy couple weeks.
It has, dude. What's up with you?
See, my son had surgery last Friday.
How'd that go?
Family in town. Really well. So we'll find out here probably in a few more days how the surgery actually took.
Okay.
But basically, the rods that were going up his spine were starting to. His skin was rejecting it, and they were wanting to come out of the upper back.
Poke out of his back, yeah.
Yeah. So they went in there, recut it open, cut a couple inches off of the rod off, and put them right back together. And
so
quick. 1-2 hour surgery, stayed the night, and then early the next day, ready to go home.
So what, I mean, I should probably ask a doctor this, but why was it coming out of his back to begin with?
Body rejected it, the way he's twisting, there's just a lot of things at play.
So but he's only had it in there, what, 10 years or so?
Yeah, he's had a couple surgeries, like, he had ones where they were too small, then they added the newer ones,
right.
And then they extended it.
Yeah.
And these are like the permanent ones. However, it's just the way things go.
So, do you think he's going to have more of it cut off later on?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
But they end up shaving some of the muscle off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nasty. Well, but so far it looks good.
So far, so good.
Okay, very cool.
Yes.
That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Family in town from Washington State. So
yeah, right on.
Had a blast with them, and they
cool.
got to see Aiden too before the surgery. And
right on.
Yeah. Well,
right on.
That's about it.
Cool. Dusty's also in the house.
I am.
Hey.
He's here. He's somewhat awake.
Somewhat.
What's going on, big fella?
Nothing. Just busy as well. Mother's Day weekend.
How was everybody's Mother's Day? What'd you do? What'd you do for the Red Queen?
Okay.
All right.
You guys.
Oh, boy. Here we are.
Just surprised the hell out of her, right? I got her the hottest ticket in town. Courtside seats to the Nevada Regional Championship 14U volleyball game.
Whoa!
Oh, look at me.
Nothing says
Plan
I
it
love
for
you.
weeks. Planning
That's
it for
right.
weeks.
Nothing says I love you like courtside seats to the Regional Nevada Volleyball League 14U.
Yeah,
Right on.
I am the ultimate romantic.
You are,
Wow.
my man. Well, I'm going to have to one-up you here and say that, yeah, I did that, but not only did I... Not to the 14U regional volleyball thing, but to not one, but two flag football games.
Oh, wow.
That's where my wife spent Mother's Day.
What a lucky gal.
I know, right? Holy cow. They don't have courtside seats. You actually don't have seats. You just have to kind of stand
Bring
around.
in your own lawn chair?
Yeah, if you remember to.
Yeah. Well, just stand there.
Oh, we suck, man.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's not odd. I took her out to a nice lunch between games, so we got that going for us. But you don't want to spend your Mother's Day at the Sports Dome.
No, you don't.
But-
or a gym of a high school.
Not that either, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is scheduling these games
This is
on
my
Mother's
question.
Day? Yes.
Who does that?
Why
Who
would you do
schedules
that?
a Mother's Day tournament?
Yeah, I can see it on Father's Day because we don't.
Yeah, we don't count much.
And we
yeah.
like sports anyway, so that's fine. But not on Mother's Day, dude.
Right?
That sucks.
We did go out and get some flowers that she picked out for the garden and stuff like that, and then I gave some sweat labor and helped her plant them and stuff. So then Monday I was paying for it. The old
Of course.
back was all tight, you know.
Yeah.
But no, she had a good Mother's Day. She liked it. So
Very cool.
That's all that really matters, right?
That's all that
As long
matters.
as they're happy.
Yeah, as long as they're happy. Did you get her anything for Mother's Day? Besides
she's not my mom. I paid for a present that her daughter got her.
Okay, sure. That'll work. Right on. I mean, you got to do something.
I got her a card. Give me a break.
That's all you get. That's all you need, really.
When we bought her flowers, and I helped her plant.
Sure.
So
yeah.
there you go.
That's what you're putting effort in.
Exactly.
That goes a lot farther than $29.95.
Right. I told you I'm the ultimate romantic.
You are,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm a catch.
Dr. Love over here.
That's right.
All right, you fuckers. We got a real horror show to get into here, fellas. Besides Dusty's home life, we got listener mail, horror news, all the usual stuff. Let's hit it with some horror news.
Horror news.
Dusty?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I see you guys pointing at each other. I thought you had it worked out.
I don't know. I didn't want to always
blaming
be.
who farted.
Oh, okay.
Was that you?
You want me to let one of the dogs in?
Smelt it, you dealt it. That's the rules.
But if he denied it, he supplied it.
That's right. All right. So, Jai Courtney is a shark-obsessed serial killer in the Dangerous Animals trailer. So, IFC Films and Shudder have finally unveiled the official Dangerous Animals trailer for its newest horror thriller, led by Suicide Squad star Jai Courtney. The movie is currently scheduled to debut in theaters on June 6th. The synopsis reads, when Zephyr, a rebellious surfer, is abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer and held captive on his boat, she must figure out how to escape before he carries out a ritualistic feeding to the sharks below. So, we're getting a
Interesting.
Shark, I guess, as the murder weapon? Serial killer.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway.
With laser beams.
I'm interested. Sure.
Yeah, so
might
what do
be
you
something.
chum the water up and then toss
you
her
in there.
overboard?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
June 6th, if you guys are interested.
I'm sure we've seen worse, gentlemen.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I guarantee we've
Sharknadoes.
seen worse.
Yes.
All right. Eli Roth reveals the title of his most terrifying and insane horror movie yet.
Okay.
All right. So Eli Roth's next movie officially has a title, and he promises it's going to be his most insane film yet. Speaking to Variety, Roth revealed that his next movie will be called Ice Cream Man. According to Roth, the movie is his most terrifying and insane yet, and will follow the story of an idyllic summer town descending into madness when an ice cream man serves kids sweet delights with horrifying results.
Alrighty.
No release date yet. So.
Sounds pretty gimmicky.
Razor blades in the ice cream
I'm sure.
cone?
Something. I don't know.
Okay, right on.
Or is he going to kidnap
Good for him.
them? Yeah, weird.
All right. That's all I got, buddy.
Buddy?
All right, Morris, the movie star, the legendary alligator from horror movie Alligator, has passed away.
I saw that. That's a
Yeah.
bummer.
80-plus years old. They don't know exactly how old it
Holy
is.
I was
Smokes.
going to say, that movie came out like in 83 or something like that. So
Yeah.
he hung in there.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But
Somewhere
somewhere
alligators
between
live that long.
Guess so. Reptiles, dude.
I guess if you get an alligator, you get a pet for life,
You
baby.
do.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to eat you, so
Well,
you get a pet for your life, which will be very short
Right.
after you get the alligator.
Yeah.
And then you give it to somebody who you don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, you'll be dead.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right about reptiles. My buddy, his family bought a house when we were in high school.
Yeah.
The mom and dad bought another house. It came with a turtle, like a
those
desert
things.
tortoise.
Yeah.
That was just came with the house because it was, I don't know, 50
There.
or something.
Yeah.
And the owners didn't take it with them, so it just,
There's your turtle.
here's your turtle with your house.
Wow.
Probably still kicking.
Probably still kicking, guaranteed.
Probably, yeah. See the movie Nobody?
No.
Oh.
I have not.
Well, Nobody 2 is getting ready to come out.
Okay.
Definitely check this out. Bob Odenkirk is the star of this, and he gets his hands dirty on vacation this time in this action sequel. The explosive sequel to the 21 bare-knuckle action thriller opens in theaters August 15th via Universal.
okay.
It's
Now I
that
know.
one where they attack him at his home, and he just like...
He's
Kicks
just
the
like
shit out.
he's literally a nobody.
Yeah.
And he's just like, they hit him on the bus and just beats the crap out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
So yeah, part 2 is coming out.
Alrighty.
And it looks like it's happening at a water park.
Perfect.
Yes,
Perfect.
That's right. Wild Bill's Majestic Midway and Water Park.
Alrighty.
Yep. Pooh-verse film Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmares flies onto video on demand today.
Today.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
but I would kind of hold off a little longer if you're on the fence on it, because to rent it is $12.99.
Oh, fuck you.
And to buy it is almost $20.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
And that's all I got. What do you got?
Dude, have you guys seen the trailers for The Conjuring Last Rites?
Yes, looks good.
Looks pretty good, right?
All right.
So, for those of you that don't know, this one is going to be it's going to be the last in the Conjuring movies.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that there might not be another Annabelle or some shit like that, but
spin-offs.
the actual Conjuring, this is going to be the last one. It's going to be based on the Smurl case.
Which one is this?
You probably haven't heard of it, but there was a movie,
like something to do with
1990 made-for-TV movie
Okay.
called The Haunted. And
That sounds familiar.
yeah, scared the living piss out of Nurse Nicole and I. Of course, we saw it when we were 12 or so. So, yeah, made for TV. Watching it now, it's very stupid because it's Sally Kirkland and a bunch of guys in Cosby sweaters. But when you saw it the first time and you were 12 years old, it made you drop
Stuck
a load
with
in your
you.
pants. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
That's where Bill Cosby came from, the old sweater thing.
That's
right?
exactly right, dude. You might drop something else in your pants.
I did read they were saying that this was the most Googleable case that they've ever covered in one of the Conjuring.
Yeah.
So it's like a well-known.
Oh, yeah,
case.
absolutely.
So,
I think the scariest part about it is having the last name Smurl.
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 Did you say Earl? No.
It's like, let me introduce myself. You're going to forget me completely in 30 seconds from now. My name is Smurl.
First name is Earl. Smurl.
Earl Smurl.
Destined a kid to be a serial killer.
Please let me buy a haunted house so there's something mildly interesting about me.
There's any vowels in that last name.
Smurl. Looks like Gun Interactive is ending the future content updates for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. I have it. I played it once. I didn't particularly care for it, so that's okay with me. I mean, it's basically Dead by Daylight, but it's very Texas Chainsaw Massacre centered. So really, every single person that wants to play the game wants to be Leatherface, right? So you can go kill everybody, and then everybody else gets stuck wishing that they could get out of that game so they could try to be Leatherface in the next game.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Very repetitive. What else we got here? You guys watch the Fallout show at
Yep.
all? Any good?
It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it, yeah.
Season 2 is about ready to hit, and already confirmed for Season 3.
Yeah, it's a good
wow.
show. You guys should
Yeah.
watch it, yeah.
Do you have to be into the video games?
Nope, I started it and I wasn't into it, the game, back when it kind of came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I never finished the game.
Okay.
But the show was really good.
All right.
It's a post-apocalyptic thing, and there's a group of survivors that are living in silos, or I think they call them silos. Anyway, but they're very 50s just...
Yeah. Yeah.
hunky-dory,
Yeah.
and then obviously they're
Eating each other.
Well, no, like the leaders of the silos know that there's more silos and they're connected together. Oh no, they all know, because what they do is to not interbreed, they'll basically go from the next door silo, and they'll one man from the next door silo and one woman from this silo will get together and marry each other so they can procreate and not basically inbreed too much.
Yeah.
And basically, there's each silo is connected kind of sequentially, and what they don't know is that the silo that they're inviting over for the wedding, the big wedding, and they're actually raiders from 2 silos over that actually ended up killing the whole silo. And then all shit breaks loose, and the one girl, the main character, has to get out of the silo because her dad was kidnapped, and then she has to go out into the wastelands of the nuclear wastelands of the L.A., I think it is. So, yeah, it's a good show.
It sounds like a sex comedy.
It's got a lot of comedy elements to it, but it's also pretty. I mean, it's got a lot of good gore too.
Yeah?
Wow.
Amazon Prime, right?
Prime, yeah,
Cool. Might have to check that out.
yeah. There's mutants, like guys, or I don't know if they call them mutants, but they're guys that are basically brought back from the dead with a shot.
Ooh.
But they have to keep getting the shot, or else they'll die.
Like zombies?
Yeah, but they're coherent. Like
Okay.
The one guy is he's like the gunslinger. He wears a cowboy hat, but his face is all skeletal. I mean, he's got no nose. He looks like a skeleton, but he's alive, and he's basically kind of like a bounty hunter.
Ooh,
but he's a zombie
sounds
dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Okay, very
check it
cool.
out then.
Well, season 3 coming at you. Here's something else I'm somewhat excited for. Fox has announced the return of Fear Factor.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
Love
buddy.
that show.
Let's see somebody swallow some camel semen.
boy. Yeah.
They're going to do it a little bit different this time, though. They said they're going to have the contestants live together for a certain amount of time. I don't think Joe Rogan's doing it this time, but
Probably not. I think he's been canceled. Well,
no,
maybe not
he's
on
still
Fox.
making bazillions from.
Oh,
the
I know,
podcast.
on his podcast, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, network television.
Oh
is
yeah,
what I'm
like
saying.
he's too
Yeah.
masculine or whatever the fuck.
Oh, he's an anti-vaxxer, and
all
COVID
that
vaccine
stuff.
was bullshit. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Good times. Anyway, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
See somebody eat some testicles.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Right on.
Stick your hand in a bowl full of tarantulas, but that's like the easy shit.
I
you
could
know?
do that. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. The eating of the stuff.
They always had an eating thing.
And that's probably where
That's where I'd fail.
I'm a weird texture guy. You
I
know
just
what I mean?
don't like. I gag when I can't even watch the eating parts. Of
If
the
I
show.
don't know
Just-
what it is, I'm okay. But of course, they're going to tell me what it is.
Oh yeah,
But when I put it in my mouth and it's like weird.
yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Earthworms.
Yeah. If it's moving when it goes in my
Oh,
mouth, that's
yeah.
going to be a problem.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough on the horror news. How about some listener mail, you maniacs?
Right on.
Listener mail.
Yes, sir. We got some voicemails coming at us here. Here he comes. A blast from the past, all the way from Anderson, Indiana.
Wow.
Coop Nukem in the house.
Hey, what's going on, Coop?
Darian, just
Sir.
wanted to call and tell you I'm still alive.
You
and
made
still
it.
listening.
All right.
Don't have a whole lot to say
Okay.
other than this. It's 100, but you know I'm right.
You're wrong.
Come fight me.
You fucking clown. You know you're wrong. This is a long-standing argument that Cooper and I have had. You guys have seen Evil Dead 2?
Yeah.
Remember how much they... Okay, so they get off the archaeologist's daughter and her Biff boyfriend get off the plane. They start walking through the woods. They run into the inbred Bobby Joe and her cousin or whatever with the bad teeth. And they're like, hey, we're trying to get to the fucking cabin. And they're like, yeah, we know the way to the cabin. And he's like, okay, can you show us the way? And he's like, yeah, $100. Like, you pay me $100.
Right. Yeah.
Coop insists for some goddamn reason that he says 100 butt. What the fuck? Why would he say 100 butt?
100 butt need some change.
100 buck, you fucking moron.
Just put the subtitles on and put the argument to bed.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He'll fight me. Let's get down to Southern California. Tom Hardy coming at us.
Hey, Tom Hardy.
Hey yo.
Hello, padded room. How's my favorite degenerates this week?
What's up, big
I
dog?
hope everyone is doing well. Anyway, wanted to get in real quick there. Hey, on the educating department.
Come on now.
Come on, man. Edward Scissorhands.
There you go,
Thanks for the
buddy.
easy
That
one,
was a
man. I'm
layup.
going to take it. I'll still take it. I don't give a shit.
Hey, just take it.
Don't believe there was a meat hook this week.
There was
but,
not.
So I wanted to get in and talk a couple things about the what are you looking at department.
Okay.
I got to catch In a Violent Nature.
That's a
Oh,
good
That
one.
was
yeah,
a good
that's a good
flip,
one.
man.
Right?
I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I remember everyone talking about it and kind of it's unique because, you're going to follow the killer the whole time.
Yeah.
I was very hesitant just because, like, every time it's just, like, a unique, like, twist or whatever, it doesn't always pay off. But this one I thought was really good, and I thought it really, like, you could see the background. You could see kind of, like, you're in Friday the 13th land.
Yeah.
They're in these beautiful camps, but you never really get to see the nature, the wildlife. Well, I don't know. I thought it was a great flick.
Okay. I
I
liked
was
it.
like, all right, let's keep it moving, man. I fucking watched the new Wolfman.
Yeah? What do you think of
I
that?
don't know, man. I wasn't into it.
Pretty
It
weird,
one didn't work for me. I mean, one thing that really fucking pissed me off, they do a lot of that. Hey, it's all dark.
Yeah.
So who knows what's really going on? You don't get to see the movie, like when the actions happen, you don't get to see what's actually going on.
You
Yeah.
can turn your brightness up on your
Man,
TV
put
there,
some
Tom.
fucking lights, say it's a full moon, put some street lamps, I don't know, put something. I want to see the flick. If I'm going to watch the flick, I want to see the fucking flick. The other thing that really bothered me about that, the Wolfman, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this or any other inmate's thoughts. I think the movie itself, call it like 70%, 75%, whatever. But because they called it the Wolfman, you already have those expectations.
Sure.
And I was thinking to myself, if they would have just called it, Werewolf on the Farm or whatever, or Werewolf Stalking the Family, or
Okay.
it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have had those like expectations that you have, when you call it the Wolfman, when you call it, Hellraiser or whatever.
Sure.
So I don't know.
I'm with you.
Kind of immediately puts it off when the film's not that fucking great, but you called it like they did with Suspiria. Could have been its own film. It doesn't need to be a Suspiria remake or reimagining or whatever. It can just be its own fucking film.
Okay.
And I think that flick would have probably been better just without having it attached to Suspiria. All right, anyway. I got to catch the Stendhal syndrome.
That's an interesting one.
Fucking 90.
GP'd, of course.
GP'd.
Of course. You guys have both seen Wolfman, right?
Yeah. I think I'm the only one that liked it.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
It was different than what I was expecting.
It is very much a Wolfman movie. Not necessarily a werewolf movie.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Werewolf implies that, like, you change back. You maintain. I guess he did maintain somewhat coherence, but it just didn't.
So my thought on it was because it's done within the same vein of the new Invisible Man, right? So the new Invisible Man movie, they tried to kind of ground it more in reality, showing that it was a suit that he had. And I think that's what they're trying to go with here in terms of it's a virus, right? So they're trying to ground it more in reality instead of the supernatural stuff.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it still had the element of the Native American curse thing that was going on, right? But I think they're trying to make it more realistic, if you will. Right?
Sure.
I just dug. I thought it was kind of original concept. You're right. It wasn't a werewolf movie. I mean, I would probably venture to call it a body horror movie if you want to. I mean,
Man-wolf.
Yeah, but it was neat.
That just changes everything, buddy.
It was
just blew my mind right there.
Man-wolf. So a wolf that turns into a man?
That's a stinky dude right there.
But he can lick his own balls, so that's kind of cool.
Oh.
Has its benefits.
You sure how to do that?
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was.
I think it's a good
concept,
show. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I really liked what they did with showing his perspective
That was
where
pretty
he
dope.
couldn't understand her talking anymore.
Yeah.
But all of his other senses got all heightened and stuff,
Yeah.
and you could see in the dark, and he was like daytime.
That was super.
Yeah,
So I thought it was cool. I just thought it was a cool idea.
I guess I kind of get what Tom Hardy's saying too. If they had just called it like Bitten or something like that, or
Scratched.
Infected or something like that. But I think like part of the appeal of the original Wolfman movie was that you had Lawrence Talbot, who would, or even like an American Werewolf in London. This guy basically blacks out on the full moon. He wakes up. He knows he's done these terrible things, and he's trying to find a way to keep himself from doing it or not have to change all the time. You kind of lost that element altogether. And maybe it's just because they set the movie in the space of, about 6 hours?
Yeah, it's one night.
Which I thought,
So, like I said, it didn't have it had its flaws, sure, but by claiming it as the Wolfman, right? I mean, that might have been the best option, but I think that's what they were going for. I mean, it was the same thing with the Invisible Man. They're going for the classic Universal Monsters kind of thing, but with a new modern take on it. That's just kind of my thought.
I'm with you. And I'm, like I said, I wasn't mad at it. Just wasn't quite what I was expecting.
I agree with that, yeah.
He called back. G
mother
P.
P.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. as I was saying, I got to catch the Stendhal Syndrome, Dario Argento flick from the 90s. Not a
Cuckoo
giallo,
Bananas. That one.
his own kind of murder mystery.
Yeah.
A couple of things on this one here. I remember liking it more,
Okay.
and I remember liking it more than this time when I saw it.
Okay.
The other thing, I remember it being having like an English dub, and this one here was in Italian. I think it's on Prime, but with the subtitles and all that. I remember it being better. It was okay. It was all right.
Okay. It's interesting.
Man, Dario Argento putting his daughter in the topless scene. And in this one here,
her
gets,
age is
raped
questionable
twice. And it's like,
in this one.
Fuck, you got to film that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Italians are just fucking weirder than we think.
Yeah.
Moved on to this fucking stupid-ass slasher called All My Friends Are Dead.
Okay.
It's like one of those typical slashers they're making a lot of, where they have like the actors are all, fucking influencers on YouTube or InstaPage or whatever.
All right.
And it's just like, it's fucking, I barely remember it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's not worth the fucking time.
That's all you had to say.
On the opposite, I did catch Hard Eyes.
Yeah.
That
Where's
new
Therapy?
one on fucking Netflix. That's what you guys are doing on the...
Therapy.
Fuck, I can't remember what you call it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
I thought it was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
It had a bit of the typical Netflix bullshit in it, but still, all in all, I thought it was a fun slasher, fun flick.
I agree.
Okay. I enjoyed it. I don't think there was a meat hook for this week, so hey, hope all is well. Love you like family. Bye now.
Love you too, Tom Hardy. Thanks for calling in, big dog. Have you guys ever seen Stendhal Syndrome?
I haven't.
You have?
Yeah.
It's bananas, dude. When she goes into her... When she looks at the paintings,
Yep.
it's like... It's like she jumps into a music video or something.
I don't know. It's weird.
And I like his movies, but his penchant for showing all kinds of carnal aspects of his own daughter is a little uncomfortable. And especially in this one, I like to think she was over 18 when we did that, but I don't know what Italian film law looks like, so... I never saw it myself, the movie. I don't know where you would even locate that item there, buddy, and I don't know if I want to know.
Full disclosure here.
Hey. Let's get down to Alabama. Here comes Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Attic Room, what's up?
What's
Hope
up?
everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
Mr. Darian, you're Edward Scissorhands.
It's an easy one.
Let's see, I watched Here for Blood, absolutely loved it, and I watched Hard Eyes and really, really liked it.
Right on.
I loved how it was filmed, like, it looked like a Hallmark movie.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
I loved the
Yep.
kills. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
A couple episodes back, I think you were talking about, like, what to do in a tornado.
Yeah.
Basically, you get to the lowest floor of the building you're in and try and get in an interior room and hang on. They recommend, if you got it, wearing a helmet or a hard hat. I've got my granddad's World War II helmet,
Okay.
Nice.
bike helmet, stuff like that. Living in Alabama, we deal with them all the time.
Ugh.
So if you're ever in one, lowest floor,
Helmet.
interior room,
Got it.
and hope for the best.
Get drunk.
If you're in a car, you want to actually... Being in a car and being in one's like really dangerous. You want to try and get into some kind of building or something.
Okay.
That's all I got. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Beautiful.
Thanks for the tip,
calling in,
Alan.
Alan.
I wish I would have talked to you earlier before I went to Texas.
Absolutely. Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Right on. It got pretty fucking windy up here the other night.
Holy
dude.
smokes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still
2
looking
days.
for my patio furniture.
Yeah.
I think it's down in the canyon somewhere.
They had I was driving in yesterday, and they said that there was 100-mile-an-hour wind gust on Glenny Creek Bridge.
Good Lord.
Right through that canyon there.
Yeah.
And I felt it. I went through.
Yeah.
As soon as you get out of the shelter of the hill, oh, shit. It just yanked the truck.
Woo.
I was like, wow, I've never had that happen. But
Holy cow.
it was windy as shit yesterday.
Yeah.
That is the truth there.
Yeah, woke me up. I think it started about 1:30 in the morning. I can hear the whole house creaking and cracking. Like, oh, shit, the fucking roof's going to blow off. Or I'm going to lose a solar panel or some shit. Anyway, I'm sure that's nothing compared to the real deal, though.
Yeah.
Scary enough, though. Well, you guys got anything for Alan, Tom Hardy, or Coop Nukem?
Thanks, everybody, for calling and writing in.
$100, you fucking moron. $100. I will dig up a script, sir, and I will fucking FedEx it to you. Alrighty, let's get ourselves into a movie here, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope you feel like being romanced.
Ghosts are real. That much I know. I've seen them all my life.
Would you be mine? Edith, this is my sister.
I don't think she's the right choice.
You have to trust me.
Thomas, your bride is frozen.
I'll run you a hot bath.
There are parts of the house that are unsafe.
What was that?
A house as old as this one becomes, in time, a living thing.
Never go below this level.
It starts holding on to things.
Has anyone died in this house? Specific deaths? Violent deaths?
In your own best interest, proceed with caution.
Keeping them alive when they shouldn't be.
If you're here with me, give me a signal.
She knows everything.
Do we have to do this? Must we?
Yes. You have no idea what they do.
What do you want? I have to leave.
You have nowhere else to go. This is your home now.
That's right, gentlemen. It's Crimson Peak from 2015. This one got 6.5 stars on IMDb. Written and directed by Guillermo del Toro. Starring Mia Wasikowska, Jessica Chastain, and Tom Hiddleston. This one's got an R rating. Not sure why exactly.
Me neither.
Scary ghost stuff?
There's a little bit of brutality with the father.
Oh, it's probably for the big reveal. That's a little,
that too, yeah.
That's a little nasty, I'd say. We are going to start off. We're in Elizabethan times, fellas. Mm-hmm. So get ready for a lot of prim and properness. Surprisingly, not during the Spanish Civil War, though. So right. That's a nice change we weren't expecting. Mm-hmm. We start off with another one of these monologues about ghosts, which is exactly how we started the last movie.
He's into his ghost monologues,
isn't
he? Yeah.
A ghost isn't just a thing that is a thing. It's a moment in time, and I believe in ghosts because I saw one. Woo! You're setting me up for a fucking boring movie is what you're doing. Then we get a little snippet of a girl hiding under the covers in her bed as some kind of a shadowy thing comes down the hall. And then we jump to Buffalo, New York. Mm-hmm. Home of the Buffalo Bills, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah. 14 years later, it is now presumably sometime in the early to mid 1800s, I guess.
I was thinking,
maybe
mid
a little
to
bit
late,
later.
maybe, yeah.
Sure. Still, very Elizabethan. Everybody's still prim and proper. They look like they just got off the Titanic. Mm-hmm. We're going to meet the little girl we were just talking to. Her name is Edith, played by Mia Wasikowska. She's fairly attractive. She is the daughter of a mining magnate, I believe.
No, he's a builder.
Builder, that's what it is. He's a construction guy. And they are a very well-to-do family in Buffalo. I guess her mom died, and now she is.
That's who the ghost was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she died of cholera or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And now she is a budding writer, and she's submitting short stories to local papers, and she's getting rejected by everybody, and she's convinced that the reason she's getting rejected is because she's a woman. And she's got the thing going where she's writing ghost stories, but it's not about the ghost. The ghost is a metaphor.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the motherfucking face. I don't want to. Just give me a scary ghost story, kid. That's what I need. I don't want to hear about grief or loneliness or whatever the hell your problem is. But she's getting rejected a lot, so that kind of sucks, and she's kind of thinking about not being a writer or sticking to writing love stories, because that's what's expected of women, I guess, in this time frame. Along comes Tom Hiddleston, playing Sir Thomas... What was that again?
With an S, I can't remember either.
It's going to be... not on here, because this fucking computer sucks. This is the best we can come up with.
Technical difficulties.
Sir Thomas something. And I believe that if we had to pick another James Bond right now, it should be Tom Hiddleston.
He'd be good.
He's a attractive young man. I'm sure he could put on a few pounds of muscle. And chicks seem to dig him. I think it's mainly because of the accent. And
Sharp.
Sir Thomas Sharp is what it is. Right. Well done, buddy. I'm still loading. So
think it's time for a new computer.
I think it's time for a whole new fucking thing.
Studio.
Yes. Along comes Sir Thomas Sharp, and he's got a financial proposal that he wants to float past her father and try to get some funding for. Now, in the 18 seconds that it takes him to step in front of her desk and ask to speak to her father, he manages to read a good chunk of her manuscript, which is sitting on the desk.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, dear. Who wrote this? It's rather quite good, you see. Mm-hmm. And she's just, you can just hear her panties sliding off the whole time. Oh.
I don't think they're panties. There's those knickerbockers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right, it's like a strap thing that goes around. The chastity belt is slowly popping off.
Yeah. That's right.
The blooms. The blooms. Yeah.
Anyway, she is now completely infatuated with him. They have a quick little conversation as she walks him up to the boardroom, I guess. And then she kind of like eavesdrops as he's making his big proposal. So basically what he wants funding for is this mining apparatus. It's a big fucking machine, and he's got like a miniature replica, and he turns it on. It's very cute. I guess it like digs, and then it displaces the dirt as it's digging. It kind of looked like a giant chainsaw to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of the premise of it.
Yep.
So, yeah, he turns it on. And
just a constant chain full of buckets.
Like
going
buckets
and buckets
yeah.
and buckets.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it sounded like it would work. But
yeah, he explains to him that it's going to be mining the red clay from his home.
Ancestral
home. And it makes the best bricks and everything, so they'll be getting their investments back.
Yes.
And
absolutely. Very exciting stuff here. They all make fun of him and tell him to fuck off because his hands were soft.
Yeah, nice toy you have there.
Yeah. And,
soft hand lily boy.
He's got a very much more eloquent but somewhat cocksuckery way of putting it. He's like, your hands are soft. We here in the United States, we value effort and not fancy talk like you Englishmen. So get the fuck out of here.
Get on out of here, red coat.
Go and get. So that sucks for him. He's like all hurt and disheveled. Apparently that night, though, there is some kind of a ball happening, and everybody's got to get real dressed up and put on tuxedos for this thing. Very exciting. Edith was not asked to go, although we do meet her ex-boyfriend, I think.
No, they asked her to go. She just said she didn't want to.
Who asked her?
Her dad said, "Aren't you going to come with us? You'll be the belle of the ball." And,
no, that's right.
And she's like, "No, I'm going to sit here and write."
But we meet the guy from Sons of Anarchy,
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, he's a handsome devil himself. Bad haircut in this one.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the style in the times.
I don't care. It looked ridiculous. I'm sure that looked good at some point, but not right now. Yeah, Jax Teller shows up and he's like, brum, 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 brum. He didn't actually do that, but he's like, so he was like her ex, right?
I think what it is his dad was wanting him to court her. I mean, it's a different kind of a time, right?
Yeah,
where
totally.
you have to kind of approach the father
First,
and yada yada.
yeah.
And he was off to school, obviously, to become a doctor.
Right.
And then he says, "Oh, he's back. Did you know he's back in town? He's opening his practice.
Yeah.
He's always quite fond of you."
Yes.
And, you know, so basically, it's someone that her father hoped that she would be getting together with.
Boy, am I glad we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
If I had to go talk to somebody's dad, but no, I'm not doing that. I'll just be single. I'll be the. I wonder if gay guys had to do that. Probably not, right? No, because then you'd have to admit that you were gay.
Yeah.
And then you're probably going to get lynched.
I
or
think
something.
the dandies had to move to, you know, the island.
Dandy Island is what it is. Come on, Ethan, we're leaving. Anyway, he's very much interested in Edith. Edith wants to stay home and write, so off goes the doctor, Dr. Alan McMichael, and the dad to the big ball. And then Sir Thomas Sharp shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Joe, you see, I haven't a date for this little shindig, and I need you to accompany me." So she's like, throws on her dress, does up his tux, off they go to the ball. As soon as they walk in, everybody's somehow taken aback that these two are there together. Mm-hmm. And we get to meet Sir Thomas's sister, Lucille, played by Jessica Chastain. Mm-hmm. Now, I am an only child, but if I had a sister that looked like Jessica Chastain,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
It's real easy to be like anti-incest if you have an ugly sister. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't count if you look, right?
I mean, I'm just saying, but I'm not saying. If the kid from Night of the Demons can pop out of the closet,
yeah,
you know,
bodacious boobs, sis.
That's right.
She is there, and she is actually kind of hanging around Dr. Allen, but they're not. I don't know. They're kind of like friendly, but not really together. He introduces Edith to the sister. Lucille comes off a little not maybe a little bitchy, I guess. Mm-hmm. Right? A little standoffish.
Yeah, standoffish.
Just not friendly at all towards Edith. We'll find out why by the end of the movie. We get a very cool little waltz. Sir Thomas informs everybody that they're going to do an English waltz. He's going to demonstrate, if done correctly, you can hold a candle in your hand and the candle won't blow out while you're dancing. So I thought this was particularly stupid and is a tell of what kind of movie we're watching when we get the close-up of him holding his hand out and she puts her hand in his and the whole crowd goes, "This is not a fucking horror movie, fellas. This is not. No, it is not. I don't care if there's a ghost in it." But anyway, there we are, and then we get the big waltz scene, and the candle doesn't blow out, and now her panties are just dripping, sopping wet. Unfortunately, before that happened, though, the father decided he didn't like Sir Thomas, so he's got like a goon that he keeps on standby, a guy by the name of Holly. And he hired Holly to dig up some dirt on...
yeah. All the rich guys back then had their fix-it men, right?
I feel like that's the job I'd have.
Yeah.
You know?
You'd be the fix-it guy.
I'd be the cleaner or something like that. And then
wolf.
I'd probably have to leave town immediately after. But he sends him out to go dig up some dirt on Sir Tom because I think Dad figured out that Edith was already swooning over Sir Tom. So, okay, great. Now we're going to cut to, I guess, maybe a week or two later. There's like a big garden thing. Everybody goes to this big park garden hangout place. Yeah. There's like deck chairs here and there, and you go look at the flowers or some shit. They didn't have a lot to do back then, apparently, so that's just what you do. Sir Thomas takes Edith there, and they're walking around and holding hands, and at one point, Lucille shows up. And Thomas and Luke, she's like, "Thomas, come here, I got to talk to you." And they go off in the bushes, and we see Lucille take one of her rings off and give it to Thomas. And she's like, "Okay, well, this is going to be the last time, right?" And he's like, yeah, don't worry, you'll get the ring back. And from there, Thomas reads some more of Lucille's manuscripts, and he's all excited and everything. And then he tells everybody that they're going to have a big dinner at Lucille's dad's house. We're kind of figuring out what's going on here, right? Thomas is going to propose. Mm-hmm. If we haven't seen this movie before, we can kind of do the math that he's probably just using Lucille or Edith to squeeze some money out of Dad, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, very exciting. Along comes the big dinner. Dad grabs Thomas and pulls him into the a side room. And he's like, oh, Mr. Hawley got back to me, and he's got all these weird documents. And we don't really see what's happening with the documents, but he's like, listen, you're going to get the fuck out of here, or I'm going to call the cops. And then he pulls the sister in also, and he writes her a big fat check. And he's like, that's all you're getting, and I'm paying you because you're creative, but you need to get him out of here, and I need you to break Edith's heart. I need you to really smash it to shit. Mm-hmm. Make sure she doesn't try to find you later on down the road. And he's like, okay, all right, well, let's do this. So he goes out, and first thing he says in the middle of the dinner is that they have to go back to England because there's some estate stuff that he's got to settle. All right, cool, fair enough. That could be the end of it right there. Mm-hmm. You can see Edith is all distraught. She gets up and walks out. But then Sir Thomas has a weird crisis of conscience, so he goes walking after her, presumably to be like, oh, your dad paid me to do that. But everybody in the dinner party, being the nosy shits that they are, follows them all into the entryway.
That's the show, part of dinner and a show.
And here comes the big show. He's like, your writing sucks, and your characters are dumb, and I think you're stupid. Obviously, he didn't say that, but that's more or less the crux of what's going on here. She gets all hurt and runs upstairs, and okay, very exciting. From there, they have to be... I think he said they were going to leave within the week, so they've kind of got a few more days there in Buffalo. Cut to the next morning at the country club. Dad is there doing a shower and a shave situation, and somebody comes in and basically kills him. Smashes his head into the sink until it opens him up and he bleeds out all over the floor. Now, you do get a quick glimpse of our killer, and you can see them from the back. Mm-hmm. Did anybody else figure it out, or was it just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that hard to see who that was.
Right.
I think the implication was that it could have been either one of them. It was pretty obvious which one it was.
My big part that pissed me off about this whole scene was when he turns to look at them approaching him. They didn't even sneak up on him and just slam his head down. He sees them.
Right.
He's holding a fucking straight razor in his hand when they're there, and he has this terrified look on his face.
Why?
Yeah. Just cut him.
Well, when we know who it is, which is pretty obvious, why are you just throw a fucking quick jab and be done with it, or whatever. Whatever, dude. I don't fucking care. So Dad is dead. That sucks. And now the train is supposedly come and gone. But after the train taking the fucking Sharps back to England is come and gone, so they're supposedly gone, but then Edith gets her manuscript back delivered to her house that morning, along with a letter from Sir Thomas, and the letter says, hey, I didn't really think you're stupid or your writing was bad. Your dad told me to tell you that, so... Anyway, gotta go, bye! So she goes hauling ass through the town, trying to track him down before his train leaves. Of course, the train already left, and we get a very touching and romantic scene.
Another one?
Yeah, this fucking movie. Where she gets to his hotel room, and it's empty, and the maids are cleaning it, and she's like, oh, my love! Oh. And
I shan't never love again.
I shall be a lonely old widow. And then she turns around, and he's standing there, and he's like, my dear, I could not leave you, and I never will. And then they make out. Yeah. And then from there, we cut directly to them taking a carriage to the familial estate in England, Crimson Peak. So we have to assume that they got...
I guess they don't call it that. Well, she doesn't call it that.
Cumberland, that's right.
But we kind of glossed over the whole thing, but the ghost in the very beginning told her as a little girl, beware of Crimson Peak.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? So it was like the big warning from the ghost, in the beginning.
Yeah.
And we don't know it's called that yet, but anyway, they're at the estate.
They're there, and there was another ghosty encounter before they left for England, where like the door handle was rattling, and the door came
she
up.
saw the same ghost again.
It's like
the ghost of her mother,
skeleton mom.
Yeah,
Dude, if you're a ghost and you're the mom of the person you're standing in front of,
look like your mom.
Don't show up like fucking Skeletor. She's gonna piss her pants. You do that. What's the matter with you?
Otherwise, leave a note.
Yeah, leave a
Yeah,
note.
there you go.
Just hey, stay out of that Crimson place.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to wake up or anything. Just don't go to there.
Just use your voice over radio.
Yeah. It's like, kids come out of their bedroom Christmas morning and I'm standing there with a black robe and a scythe.
Yeah.
Right?
Merry Christmas, I'm going to kill you, everybody. Don't do that.
Go
That's
make your
insane.
kids piss their pants.
Exactly. Why would you do that? Don't do that.
It makes an impression, though.
It
She
does.
remembered Crimson Peak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll never forget it.
You're right.
That's true, yeah.
There may be... I think Guillermo just outsmarted me.
Yep.
Fuck.
That's what it was.
Fucking fuck. Anyway, so she's had all these spectral warnings about Crimson Peak, but here she rolls up on Cumberland. Now, the story of Cumberland is that, of course, the Sharps come from European aristocracy. They've got this big spiraling mansion, and it's fallen into disrepair. And they're trying to get this machine built so that they'll have a prototype so they can get funding, and then all their money problems are going to be gone. But the real problem is that the fucking house is sitting on top of a big clay pit mining operation, if I understand this correctly.
Yep.
And, of course, this clay is just the color of blood. And, if you step on it, it'll, turn your shoes red. And
So the house is slowly
sinking is what it is. But the real part that boggles the mind is the giant fucking hole in the roof.
Yeah.
You cannot live
I know.
in a fucking hole. I mean, it's great. And for the Guillermo del Toro aesthetic where they walk in and the leaves are falling through.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, so nice.
You
It
know,
was praised to death.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know the crazy thing about this is like a real thing. So there's so many dukes and fucking earls and barons and shit in England, right?
Yeah.
That have this palatial old money that has since run out.
Yeah.
So these giant fucking houses, and they can't afford to fix them.
Yeah.
So this is like a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you ever watched the movie The Gentleman?
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey.
Exactly.
Comes in and sets
So they're
up the weed
basically,
operation.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's a thing because there's so many freaking, like you said, aristocracies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The money's so old that the money ran out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still in the 1800s. I think they could at least get their goddamn roof repaired.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And if not...
Well, they said he basically said his dad pissed it all away, too.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
So that sucks. But, bro, you can't live there. There's a fucking hole in the roof.
Where are you going to go?
And every time it rains or snows, which it's about to do very shortly here, that hole's just going to get bigger and bigger until the whole shit collapses. Whatever, man. I didn't write this. All right, so yeah, for the aesthetic, it's very nice because there's like a big sun shaft that comes through the hole in the roof, and like leaves drop down there, and it's magical foresty kind of a way. They get in there. Lucille's with them. She's like, "Nah, this is the house. You're not going to be here long. Don't worry." And Tom, I think we are supposed to assume at this point that Sir Thomas and Edith have not had sex.
Right.
Is that a given?
Yeah.
Or because
I think so.
There's a couple of lines towards the end of the movie when they go on their little vacation, and it goes through. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But Lucille's getting more and more snappy with everybody.
They're courting.
What? You're already married.
Yeah.
Though
Has not been consummated yet.
Yeah.
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 You don't buy a car without taking it for a test drive. There,
Back in the
fellas.
day, I'm telling you.
Well, that's great.
You ordered it online.
That's why you don't order cars or wives online. Correct. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. Whatever you're into. They get there. The house is a wreck. Immediately, Edith is like falling ill. So Lucille is doing a good job of keeping her in bed and serving her this tea. Mm-hmm. Every now and then, Edith gets out of bed and manages to stagger around the house, but then she has more of these ghostly visions. She's staggering around, and they keep telling her that she's sleepwalking and stuff. But there's a bathtub ghost. There's a ghost that comes out of the closet. There's a ghost that comes out of the floor. She makes it down to like a basement area where there's a bunch of shafts, I guess.
That's where the clay was all. I don't know what the vats were for.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, because the clay was liquid. I mean,
right.
And the walls were basically bleeding clay.
Yeah.
Right. I think the mining operation was putting them back down into those vats to process the ore. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was a very cool looking scene.
It looked great.
Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
None of this makes any sense to me.
That's what I'm just speculating.
Okay, no, I'm with you. That's better than anything I could come up with. In the meantime, Sir Thomas is ordering parts from Italy and other places, and he's trying to get his machinery running correctly, but every time he does, somebody goes out there and yells at him, or it just backfires and smoke starts coming out, or he burns himself. In the meantime, we're going to cut back to Buffalo. Dr. Alan McMichael is wondering why he hasn't heard from Edith in a while, and he's getting a little nervous. Mm-hmm. So he talks to the coroner about the state of the dad's body when he was buried, and he's like, well, I don't know. I guess it could have been a murder, but it seemed to me that he slipped and hit his head, but that's a kind of I guess it could go either way. So Alan is like, well, I'm just going to start doing some snooping, and he comes across the checkbook, and he does like an imprint, and he sees that the last check that was written was to Sir Thomas Sharp. And
for a whopping $3,000.
Which is fucking good money in 18 whatever. Yeah, that's like a whole new life. So now he's getting really suspicious, and he's trying to track down Edith. And he finds all the documents that the Holly guy delivered that pissed off.
Yeah, he talked to the Holly guy, remember?
He ends up tracking him down, Mm-hmm. So he knows that there are some things afoot. And about this time, the ghostly visions have kind of gotten Edith out of bed and got her, like, interested in investigating things. But she keeps getting the goddamn tea, which it just knocks her right back in the dirt.
Yep.
At one point, she asked to have a set of keys made to the house because, I guess it's technically her house now, right? Mm-hmm. And Lucille's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll get you some at another time. Just don't even worry about it. Okay, so she's staggering around one day and she finds a big trunk with the name Enola? Enola.
That was in the mine basement thing.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, who's Enola? Tries to get it open, you need a certain key for it that she doesn't have.
And all these ghosts we have talked about are all red. They're the same color as the clay.
Yeah, that comes into play later. They kind of show up... I guess they're all skeletons, right? A bunch of skeleton ghosts. And they're in various states of, like...
Some have kind of skinish on them and muscles and stuff.
Or it might just be the clay dripping, or...
Yeah, one of them talks to her that she had kind of an eye, like one was carrying the baby.
Mm-hmm. They're
and the other one had the cleaver in her head, the bathtub bit ghost.
Yeah, all kinds of problems with these skeleton ghosts, dude. One of them, I think, just died of... diabetes.
Diabetes?
Yeah, she came out with a full pizza, and she ate the goddamn thing. I saw her. I don't know what her problem was, but she ate herself to death. Anyway, it's getting pretty creepy, and now we're getting like little clues that Edith needs to look for, because these ghosts seem to be pointing her in a, like a warning direction, and we're going to try to get you out of here kind of a thing. So she finds the trunk belonging to Enola, but she doesn't have the key for it. So one day... Lucille leaves the keys sitting down for a second while she's making dinner. So Edith snatches the Enola key, which also has Enola stamped on it, and then she puts the key ring back. And then the next day she goes down there and pops it open, where Enola had apparently been gathering evidence about Sir Thomas's goings-ons. Basically, this is what he's been doing. He's been marrying chicks, hopefully rich chicks. Or at least
they all had money.
Chicks with some money, and then Lucille kills them, and then they dump the bodies in the vats with the red shit. So, pretty scary stuff there. Mm-hmm. And now we got this kind of cat and mouse thing going on, where Lucille thinks that Edith might be kind of faking it, but she might know more than she's letting on. She realizes that the key is missing, so she leaves the keys laying next to her again, and then the key is back. Eventually, we have to go to the post office, which is, I guess, fucking 30 miles down the road. We got to take a carriage there. And also has a weird guest room in the
like
thing.
an inn.
Something kind of a deal. So Sir Thomas and Edith go to the post office and get caught there in a storm where they actually get to have sex.
I think all this happened actually before she opened the trunk.
You could be right.
Yeah, because I don't think she would have did the deed with him if she had already opened the trunk.
You're probably right.
Listened to all those
Yeah.
gramophones or whatever.
I lost interest in this movie very early, so I'm barely piecing together what I remember because I just didn't fucking care. So eventually they do get it on, and when they go back the next day, Lucille's all pissed off, and now she's really being snappy with everybody. Yeah, and she goes back and she's got breakfast ready for everybody, and Edith is like, "Oh, we had to spend the night there at the post office." She's like, "What? Smack these eggs out of here! Fuck you! Spending the night with my brother, you fucker."
He is my husband.
Well, yeah, but still, fucking eat your own eggs. I don't know. I didn't get really pissed off, and eventually this whole shit is going to culminate in the real. Well, we figure it out exactly what happened because we walk down the stairs at the wrong time and find Lucille beating off Sir Thomas.
A little handy.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And about that, while that's happening, we cut back to the United States where Dr. Allen realizes that Sir Thomas is actually still married, so their marriage is not legal. Mm-hmm. And luckily, Edith didn't sign the final document which transfers her fortune to him just yet. But she was about to when she saw the beat-off party happening in the basement. And then that's when Dr. Allen hops on a boat or whatever and hauls ass over to England to try to save her, I guess. Yeah. So big freak out there. It turns out not only... Well, we're at this point in the movie, we're thinking, okay, that's not his sister, that's his wife, and that's why she's all pissed off about everything. And then we catch the beat-off party, and she's like, "Oh my God, you guys are actually married, and we're getting divorced. Our marriage isn't even legal, you nasty. And by the way, you're some kind of a male Black Widow killer who just kills wealthy women for their money. So I'm getting the fuck out of here." And then we get a little chase going on. And then during this chase, Lucille makes the admission, No. We are brother and sister.
Yeah.
I just beat him off every now and then.
Oh, they did more than that.
Yeah. I mean, it went down. So
they had a baby.
Yeah, that too.
And it was a little off, she said.
There's a lot going on. Yes, it should be.
Brother lover, sister lover.
See, so why would you...
Daddy uncle.
Why would you admit all of that?
Because she knew she was going to kill her.
I know, but still, I hate that. No,
just to rub it in your face even more.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die moment is what it is. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so...
That's cute. You think I'm his wife. I'm also his sister. Gotcha.
Auntie Mommy. That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. But again, if your sister looks like Jessica Chastain, or your brother looks like Tom Hiddleston...
No?
No. I'm an only child. I don't understand how any of this works. So there's that. All right.
You know what the kids are going to look like.
Apparently not that good. Anyway, big cat and mouse thing. Eventually, they knock her out, if I'm not mistaken. And while she's knocked out, this is when Sir Thomas has like his crisis of conscience. And he's like, well... I think I'd actually like to stay with her, and you can go fuck off, talking to his sister wife.
He threw the documents in the fire.
Exactly. And she's like, "What? I'll ruin you, you fucker." She actually kills him, right?
No. The doctor showed up first, remember?
That's right. Yeah, because as she was like losing consciousness. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh dear, a doctor's here. Very good, sir. You come right in." And he's like, "What the hell are you doing? What's going on here?" They get her upstairs and get her into bed. When she comes to, the doctor's there, but I guess she had trouble speaking there for a second.
Yeah, they gave her another dose of the tea or something.
And the oatmeal.
That's right. They were putting it in the oatmeal.
Yeah.
But
you thought it was the tea. It's the oatmeal.
All right, buddy. Have another sip of your coffee, why don't you? So that's cool. We're thinking he's there to save her. Well, he is there to save her. And he does kind of get her, in bed and comfortable.
He gets her halfway to the door. She's laying on that chaise lounge.
He wanted to take her to a hospital.
Yeah. That's what he said he was doing. But
but he really wanted to get her the fuck out
Lucille
of there.
called bullshit on that.
Yeah. At this point, Lucille stabs the doctor, but like in a weird, under the armpit, where I guess non-lethal because he's still alive.
Well, I think that's I don't know. That's kind of right where the femoral artery kind of goes in. I think that's where you'd stab somebody and they'd probably bleed out pretty damn quick.
You would think, or at least collapse a lung or something. Yeah. But he's still alive, and then she's like, "Okay, Thomas, it's about time you got your hands dirty. So get over here and kill this guy." And then Thomas is like, "All right, I'm going to kill you." And then he leans into the doctor and he's like, "You're a doctor. Where can I stab you where it's not going to kill you?"
Yeah.
And the doctor shows him where to stab him. So he stabs him there.
Right in the liver.
Doctor goes down. There you go.
Another very good doctor.
Yeah. Wait. I'm usually looking at the patient the other way. No, the other side.
Shit! Damn it. You got to stab me right here in the pinky. That'll kill me for sure. So he stabs him there. The doctor goes down. And then we get this whole crisis of conscience from Sir Thomas. He wants to basically leave his sister to be with Edith. And then he's like, "Look, I will give you the money that I make, and you go start a new life fucking far off away from me." And then she kills him. How did she kill him? She slit his throat?
She stabbed him a bunch of times. She had the knife.
Sir Thomas?
Yeah, she stabbed him and then stabbed him right in the fucking face.
That's right. Face stab. Yeah. Kills the living shit out of him.
And then balls all over him.
Yeah. Of course, falls apart after that.
Buyer's remorse.
That's what it is. About that time is when Edith wakes up and she's like, "Oh, God, I got to get the fuck out of here." Now there's a full-on blizzard happening outside. She's like, "I guess, God, I'm just going to take my chances out there. I can't hang here with this crazy bitch." She goes running out. Lucille is chasing her. They get right out to where the big farm fucking machine mining thing is. A little bit of a tussle there. Luckily, I think she hit her with a shovel. Is that right?
First, yeah. So, but she made her turn around.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why don't you help me, or can't you help me?"
Yeah.
And she's talking over his shoulder. And then she
Lucille's
says, "Look,
like, I'm not falling for that old trick, fucker."
And she turns around and there's
the ghost of
Sir Thomas. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh my God!" And then that's when she basically caves her head in with a shovel.
Yeah,
right?
she whacks her head with it.
And that's pretty much the end of your movie, there, dudes.
Yeah, she went down. Remember, because the doctor she survived.
Yeah.
So she got him out of the basement, and then the townsfolk or somebody remember
started,
when he was in the livery or where the horses are? He
Yeah.
says, "Well, I'm not renting out horses right now. It's a fucking blizzard, dumbass." Yeah. And he says, "Well, we'll come try to find you tomorrow once the storm dies out."
Yeah.
So then she's limping back to the gate of the estate, and then here comes the townsfolk coming
to rescue her.
Yeah. And that was the end.
That's the end of your movie there, dudes. What do you think of Crimson Peak?
Yeah.
Meh.
I agree. If I was hot for Tom Hiddleston, maybe. If I was, like I said, if I was like a lonely soccer mom that had some fantasy of this English gentleman sweeping me off my feet, but him having like a dark, mysterious side, kind of a...
He was Dracula.
Yeah, give him bat wings or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a huge cock. I feel like that's what you need.
Huge cock.
I'll be honest, I kind of feel like I could take Tom Hiddleston in a fight. Not Loki, but Tom Hiddleston. Loki fucked
Apparently,
me
he
up.
liked having sex with her over his sister.
Probably, yeah.
That's like, I'm going to leave you now.
I tried a new one and it fit better, so me and you, we're done.
Yeah. She was a little
my
tighter.
sister, man. Ugh. That's nasty. I didn't care for this one, dudes. It's not really a horror movie, and I'm starting to realize that I don't particularly care for Guillermo del Toro either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. It wasn't great.
I feel like he makes great movies.
The cinematic, the cinematography and stuff, is awesome. You know,
a little overboard on the house, though.
Yeah, but like the basement and all the walls were like bleeding that clay.
That was cool.
I thought it was a really cool visual.
Yeah,
but the whole fucking movie was just nah.
It's not
Take
a
it or
horror
leave
movie.
It. Yeah,
it's like a
Love
gothic
story.
romance kind of a deal.
Yep.
The more I think about it, the more I think he doesn't really make horror movies. He makes fucking kids
Romance
movies,
novels.
dark fantasies, and they have
that's a perfect. I think analogy is a dark fantasy.
with horror elements in them.
Yeah.
But like in this one, the ghosts were trying to help the chick. You know what I mean? Same thing with Devil's Backbone. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, man. We do have a legit horror movie next week for sure, but we'll get into that as we go on. That's it for that, dudes. Let's take us a little break. We'll do some other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like what you hear, head over to the Padded Room Facebook group and support us through the Patreon link with a small monthly donation. Check out the T-Villain link at paddedroom.podbean.com and grab some t-shirts. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the show.
And we are back, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Good, Daddy. I'm going to have another road read for you next week, but I'm still working on it because it is a long fucking book. So in the meantime, I thought we would bring you 3 on a Meat Hook.
Yes.
Yep.
Three on a Meat Hook.
This week's Meat Hook, top 3 horror couples. Now, in looking back at my list here, I don't think any of these are actually couples, but as we just learned in Crimson Peak, couples is a very subjective phrase. So, without further ado, buddy, how about number 3?
Number 3, Dr. Peter Venkman and Dana Barrett.
Okay, yeah. Well, they're kind of an on again, off again thing, but that's cool. He's a peahound. He was a peahound, sir. I probably would.
Remember the old shock test?
Yep.
Oh yeah, shock test was hilarious.
I like that. I don't understand. Was I the only one that thought Annie Potts was hot in those movies?
Oh no.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
She was good.
Yeah.
I like the voice.
It's kind of it is something about
Ghostbusters.
that.
What do you want?
Those big glasses that she wore. He'd look very studious. Right on, man. How about number 3 there, Dusty?
All right, for number 3, I kind of took a little bit of liberties here, but it could be said. But I said I kind of went with the more dark side. Art the Clown and Vicky.
Okay.
Oh,
sure.
So it kind of developed some kind of a infatuation, or maybe she was infected with his demon. I don't know exactly.
Could be. Sure.
What went on there, but she was the final girl, and then she was one of his minions. So
yeah, Lauren Lavera, man. I think she may be my new horror crush.
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw Asia Argento in anything? She was my go-to for a long time. But now she's a rapist, so I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, it's kind of creepy now, right?
Is she now? I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a whole thing. There's
Really?
She was sending in... There was like a 16-year-old co-star that she was sending some really inappropriate stuff to. And,
Look how she grew up, dude.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right?
It's Italian.
Yeah.
She gets a free pass, right?
I'm going to make a movie.
Hey!
Yeah. And it was a 16-year-old Italian boy, and she was...
No, he's American.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's... You know what, man? Here's what
the only reason that happened was the parents found out.
Yeah, more or less.
That boy is super stoked.
That's what I was saying.
The parents found out, and then he's like, shit.
Did you beat off to her? Yeah, okay. Then it's not a crime.
Yeah.
So, no.
Right.
Right on. That's a good show. I think she might be a Lauren Lavera. I think she might be my new horror crush.
Right on.
Yeah. My number 3, also a little dark and maybe a little incestual. I went with Otis Driftwood and Baby Firefly.
Okay. I was thinking about that. There was on my honorable mention.
Now, they claim to be brother and sister, but I'm pretty sure that at some point they, at the very least, did mouth stuff.
I would imagine.
Which is very gross considering the state of Otis's teeth.
And probably body odor.
Yes, lack of personal hygiene and things like that. And in that family... Who knows what the fuck is going on, you know?
Oh, yeah.
When they don't have...
Mama Firefly probably taught him everything he needed to know about everything.
How to please a man,
yeah, exactly. With full-on demonstrations.
Yes. Alrighty. Nasty. How about number 2, buddy?
Evelyn and Lee Abbott. Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's tricky. That is a bummer of a couple. That's a bummer of a franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But especially when, like, you got to feel for him, and then the fucking kid with the
First 5 minutes of the movie, the kid's
what was
fucking
it, a
dead.
rocket ship or a train or something?
Yeah,
Whatever the
it's
toy
some
was.
rocket ship. Yeah.
She didn't
Imagine
even
that?
know because she's deaf.
Yeah.
She didn't know it's making noise. That sucks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking sucks.
That was a gut punch. That
That
part.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And he was the youngest kid too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until obviously the baby came.
Right. That's a whole other set
Why
of
would
shit
you start?
gotta
Why
do.
wouldn't you keep making or stop
making
kids?
babies?
Yeah.
How are you even having sex in stealth mode?
Right.
How do you? I don't think I can. I'm more of a
Very slowly.
I'm going to slip this in your drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Very slowly.
Easy. Oop. Right on, man. How about number 2 there, Dusty?
I went with Frank and Julia from Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that one. That's wow.
Have to keep feeding him fucking bodies.
I don't know what the fuck he had going on downstairs, but she was fucking
Oh, dude.
hooked.
Oh, yeah.
Hooked.
I can't get my wife to make me dinner most of the time. You think she's going to go kill some dudes?
And bring him to me to
feed them to me?
upon?
No, hell no. All right, well, whatever he's got, it's working for him.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part was that, like, he shows up, he basically rapes her, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he shows up, he pulls a knife on her and cuts her bra off.
Yeah, she's got some daddy issues, that
She's
one.
got all kinds of issues, man. It's not even that attractive.
Nah.
He didn't care. My number 2, this is, I don't know if this is, I consider this to be a horror movie. A lot of people consider it to be other things. With Mickey and Mallory, Natural Born Killers.
That's my number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they are serial killers, and they had like the Bonnie and Clyde thing going on, but
Oh, I definitely consider that a horror movie.
yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Social, political commentary, satire, maybe.
Well, it was super violent too.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no empathy for.
No.
I mean, they just killing
Yeah.
at will and
Yeah.
no fucking remorse. So,
Yeah.
I think it was definitely a horror movie.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of look at them as heroes. They're villains. I think the best part of that movie was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, yeah, he was good.
Right on. How about number 1 there, buddy?
Number 1, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a good one. You ever see a picture of the real Ed and Lorraine Warren?
Yeah, they look nothing like
They
that.
are not. They are a couple of troglodytes.
Yeah,
they are not attractive.
No.
Lorraine looks like your grandma, and Ed looked like he should be driving a
Overweight.
bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a truck.
Sure.
Like
If you wanted to typecast
semi-truck.
a professional bowler.
There you go.
Right on. But the Conjuring movies are great.
Yeah.
And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Both very pleasantly
Very
looking
attractive
people. Yeah.
individuals.
I could see them as a real couple, actually.
Sure, absolutely. Dusty, number 1?
I went with Mickey and Mallory.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
That's another very attractive couple. Mm-hmm. Juliette Lewis, circa 1996. 1990, really?
I never
Christmas
found her
Vacation.
attractive.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. I did. She always had like a damaged goods
Yeah.
look to her. Kind of like, I could probably get in there.
That's an actress I probably could woo.
I could probably, I just put on my, my leather jacket and something. I don't know. I don't stand a chance in hell, but I look like I think I might be able to.
Have you seen her in that? Was it Killer Bees?
Killer Bees.
Yellow Jackets?
Yellow Jackets?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
she
haven't.
did not age well.
No, I know. She doesn't look too good today, but yeah, back in the day. Right on. My number 1, this is another stretch, but I went with it anyway. Norman and Mrs. Bates.
I thought about that one.
Yeah. That relationship is not wholesomely mother and son. So I don't know that you could call them a couple, but I feel like there was some nasty
Too
things.
much overbearing motherly love.
Which may
Probably could have gone
into the carnal side
Yeah.
a little bit. Either way, that's
He
my
probably
number
breastfed until he was 13.
1. Yeah, easily. She probably made him do it anyway. Gross. That is your meat hook for the weekend, mates. It's top 3 horror couples. We'd love to know what you think. Let us know by next week if you can. The mental health hotline is area code 775-387-0275. Or hit us up at mail@paddedroompodcast.com and we'll get your email that way. In the meantime, we're going to tell you what movies we got to watch this week in a little segment called What Are You Looking At?
What are you looking at?
Well, believe it or not there, fellas, we actually had some decent weather going on for a hot minute over the weekend. Set up the outdoor projector and showed the neighborhood kids Army of Darkness from 1992.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
That's a
haven't
great
gotten
one.
any angry phone calls yet, so
That one's pretty mild.
It is, but you never know with kids these
Yeah,
days.
true.
I don't want to traumatize anybody.
Show my kids a horror movie.
There's a skeleton in there.
The Pit Witch was a little off-putting, but
Yeah.
The
flying thing,
Yeah.
that thing was pretty gnarly. Evil Ash when he pops up.
when he sews himself back or pieces himself back together, I guess.
After it comes out of the ground.
Yeah.
I forgot that there was a couple of boobs in there.
There is?
Yeah, when they're dragging, when they capture the princess or Ash's girlfriend and they take her back, and then in the background you see them bringing in like other chicks.
Oh.
A few of them have their tits out.
Oh, I haven't noticed it. I'll have to watch it again.
I can give you a timestamp because I have seen that scene many times as a young man. I watched that, and then I watched Ugly Stepsister from 2024. We're going to be touching on that later in the show. I will just tell you that it is definitely a body horror movie. It's basically a horror version of Cinderella from the perspective of the Ugly Stepsister.
All right.
It is definitely body horror. I will tell you that.
All right.
Prepare yourself. That's all I'm looking at, buddy. What do you got?
Just one film, wasn't a horror movie. It was the new Minecraft movie.
That's a horror movie?
No, he said
It wasn't.
one movie.
Oh.
Wasn't horror movie.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
But he had a busy couple weeks.
Mother's Day,
Clearly.
you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Yeah, good
show? Yes. Yeah, it's a very good show. I recommend everybody see it. Even though it is Minecraft, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. It's Minecraft. Jack Black took over the show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, he's pretty fun.
I
dude.
watch my kid play Minecraft. You're literally doing nothing. Mm-hmm. You're like...
Oh, kids go berserk during this movie.
You're like, you go hunt for materials, and then you build yourself a little thing.
It is the dumbest thing ever. I don't understand. I
don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
But like my kids, they will play it for like 45 minutes and then watch other people play it on YouTube for hours. Mm-hmm. I don't get it, dude.
Nope, me either.
Video games have changed a lot, apparently.
They have. Yeah. They've gone back to the pixelated style. When we're looking at the new shit, we're like, oh, this is freaking rad.
Yeah,
so,
look at all these graphics, very artistic. And then Minecraft.
Yeah.
Stare at that too long, it'll make your eyes cross. I don't get it. Right on, man. Dusty, what do you got?
We rented a movie called It Feeds. It was on Prime. It's basically about this woman who is a psychic, or she kind of poses herself as just a regular therapist, but she gets patients come in that are particularly damaged, and she actually has the ability to kind of go into their heads and see where the trauma started. And basically it kind of reminded me a bit when she was in these people's heads of The Cell.
Yeah.
And it sets up like basically this kid was, molested by his high school coach or something, right? So then he's portrayed as the wolf, like he's so anyway, so she's a therapist that works with people to try to get out this trauma, and coming to and her daughter works with her, and her daughter doesn't have her 17-year-old daughter, she doesn't have the ability yet, but they think that she will because the father had it too. And right now she's basically just doing the screening and clerical work for the clients because they won't do this type of work for dangerous entities or whatever.
Wow.
Anyway, so this kid shows up, a little girl, I don't know, she's probably 12 or something like that, 13. She shows up, she's like, I need your mom's help, really just, and she's got scars on her arms and on her face, and so they think it possibly is some kind of a abusive relationship with one of the parents, but so the daughter is speaking with her in the room, and then she's all, she gets all quiet and stares off into the corner, she's all, it's here, oh no, and the the daughter who's helping the psychic mother looks around, there's nothing there. The mom walks in and there's a fucking thing, like a demon-looking thing, right over the girl's shoulder, and she freaks the fuck out. So she can see it, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the dad comes in and takes her away, and the mom says, I refuse to help that girl. I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. And the daughter wants to help her, so she snoops around trying to figure out how they can help her. And then it escalates from there. You'll find out kind of what this entity thing is, and the dad has something kind of to do with it. He's doing pretty shady shit to keep his daughter safe from the demon taking over, or whatever it is, entity, whatever. And then I don't want to give too much of the story, but it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
Yeah, right on.
So we had to rent it though, so it's not free.
I
but
just
I'm sure
added it to my list.
I'm sure it'll be free at some point. But yeah, it's a pretty good show.
Cool.
We watched the show. Jeff recommended this, and it's called. It's on Prime, so it's free on Prime. Called The Bondsman. This show is fucking
Kevin Bacon, right?
Yes,
yeah.
This
I heard
show
good things.
it's fucking great.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
It
Right
is.
on.
Yeah. He's basically a bounty hunter, bondsman
From hell, right?
Well, he starts out as a regular one
Yeah.
in Georgia, South rural Georgia, and he gets killed.
Yeah.
And then he comes back to life, and from then point on, he is a bounty hunter for demons,
Yeah.
that are sneaking out of hell.
Yeah, nice.
And there's the whole corporate side of it. He gets fucking faxes when a new demon pops up, and and he gets his whole family involved, and it's a good show. It's
Nice.
very Ash vs. Evil Dead. A lot of gore, a lot of really cool fucking kills.
Nice.
Good show. Good comedy. Yeah. It's a good show.
There used to be a show on the Sci-Fi Channel. It was basically the exact same premise, except the guy was like an ex-LAPD detective, died, went to hell, got sent back because he had to go round up demons and stuff. I think it was called Brimstone or something
That
like
sounds
that.
familiar. Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it, but
It was sci-fi, so it was naturally like bottom of the barrel special effects, low budget, not that great. But this, I heard good things about Bondsman.
it is good. It's
Right
like
on.
Demon of the Week. Every episode, there's a new demon that pops up, and
Nice.
he has to research them, and then they inhabit the people that they're possessing. Right? Nobody else can see him but him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good show.
Cool.
So,
Right on.
Worth the watch. And then Jeff and I went and saw Thunderbolts, Marvel.
What do you think of that?
Oh, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah?
I was losing faith in Marvel.
Yeah.
Ever since like Endgame, nothing really good has come out. Really. So kind of losing faith, but this one was good.
Nice.
Really good.
Nice.
Got back on track.
Cool.
So I would recommend that one. And seeing it in the theater would be great too. So if you had any on the fence about seeing it, I'd go see it. It's fucking good.
Cool.
All right.
Check that shit out. Anything else, Dusty?
Nope, that's it.
All right. How about some immersion therapy?
Immersion therapy.
What'd you guys think of Hard Eyes?
Loved it.
I liked it a lot.
Good show, right?
Yeah.
I love Alan's analogy of it
Being a
filmed as
Hallmark
like a
movie.
Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't put my finger on it, and as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh my god, you're fucking right."
I was thinking
yeah.
the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it
It
was
didn't
a
occur
great
to me,
analogy.
but now that he said it, I'm like thinking about that opening scene
Yeah.
with the proposal.
Yeah.
That's
Is
a
it-
fucking Hallmark thing.
It is totally
the
a
whole
Hallmark.
premise
Yeah.
of, oh, I'm losing my job, I'm in so much pressure, but here comes this hunky dude to save me, and I'm going to fall in love. That is a Hallmark movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except somebody's going to get stabbed in the face with a machete.
Good one. I liked it.
I liked it
Yeah.
a lot. It's very quirky. It's a lot of fun.
Fun movie, yeah, for sure.
But the kills are pretty gnarly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that opening with the wine cask thing, whatever that grape stomper smasher. Oof, that's
Pretty gnarly.
bad business. Yeah, it's a good show. Streaming right now on Netflix. If anybody's interested, yeah, check that shit out. Buddy, what do you got for us this week?
All right, this week let's check out 2025's The Ugly Stepsister. This follows Elvira as she battles against her gorgeous stepsister in a realm where beauty reigns supreme. She resorts to extreme measurements to captivate the prince amidst a ruthless competition for physical perfection. You'll find this gem on Shudder.
Okay, here comes your disclaimers. Eyeball stuff, nose stuff, 18th century... teeth stuff, penetration, hardcore penetration stuff. Full-on cock into vagina stuff.
Okay, not for kids.
Nope. No. Rainworm stuff.
Ooh. Wow.
There's a lot of stuff in there. It's pretty gnarly, dudes. I think you're gonna like it though. Check that shit out, inmates. We'll do the same and compare notes next week. But now it's time for a round of Who's Your Daddy?
Who is Daddy?
First, my clues from last week. Well, I am a tired, lonely old man sitting in a big, creepy house on top of a hill. Always wanted a son, but never had the opportunity to have one, so I'll just build my own fucking son out of parts that I find around this place. And I am just about done. I've got him to his final stage, and I died before I could put the right hands on him. Shit. Luckily, a Avon lady will show up and open up a hair salon for him. It's going to be great. Talking about Edward Scissorhands, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That one's a layup. I agree. Who might I be this week, you ask? Mm-hmm. Well, I am the best friend of a scientist, and he is a bit of a recluse, and his wife is really worried about him, and so am I, to be honest with you. While I am his best friend, I'm also financing his work and his research. The son of a bitch has locked himself in his own basement, and he's refusing to come out. I'm going to have to go get to the bottom of this and hope that he's got some results for me, or he'll at least let me see what he's got going on down there. I really hope he hasn't turned his arm and his head into another species of thing that could be... well, he might need some help. Who might I be next week? Tune in and I will drop some knowledge on you, inmates. In the meantime, I think that's about going to do it for us this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Join us next week for Antlers, executive produced by Guillermo del Toro. I'm sorry, man. I got to get out of this romancy fairy tale shit for a minute. We need to get back to horror. Like, comment, subscribe wherever you found this show. That helps our visibility quite a bit. We do have a Patreon campaign running. Just go to paddedroompodcast.com. You'll find everything you need to know about us there. In the meantime, you guys got anything else on the week?
No.
No?
Nope, good.
For Buddy and Dusty, insects that can possibly ruin your life, meth heads in the forest, wolf men that aren't quite wolf men, but more like hairy, rude guys.
Hot sister crushes?
Ooh. That was more than a crush, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
That was a full-on Handy J sister situation.
That's disgusting.
Well, you know, it's European, Dusty. Europeans have their own rules. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And the Padded Room Podcast, I'm afraid visiting hours are over.
Bye, and have a great week.